Put your children to bed.
Kids don't need to hear what's about to happen.
Hot crack has returned.
HBK, the lady lover, the king of pleasure.
It's the most hated Ock, baby.
Oh, please say the baby.
You tuned in to Pie Crack. 8-Bit Paul, a.k.a. 5 the Fresh.
Pie Crack in this bitch.
Yo, it's your boy Matt, the Mad Titan. We the Blurs with attitude, and this is the party dude.
Barely.
Anybody else I talk to about this shit, they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's why Pie Crack must exist.
Pie Crack, real raw and unmotherfucking cut.
Welcome to Pie Crack. It is your host, Hennessy's top consumer. It is the Heartbreak, the HBK. Ock Baby. It's Ock Baby, the AAK. Ock, please, if you would, say for us how the groundbreaking show Wu-Tang: An American Saga will be elevated to new heights with the introduction next season of the harrowing tale of You God.
You want to make this show infinitely better, my nigga? Automatically, nigga. Cast the new nigga as Method Man, nigga. Please, nigga. Yes, nigga. Yes. You want to talk about the miscast of the century, nigga? Nah, it ain't Flag Smasher, nigga. It's motherfucking this nigga.
Yo,
trash,
man.
Nigga.
Dave East ain't that bad, man. Don't do that to that man.
Yeah, nah, Dave East is not Method Man. How this nigga look older than Method Man playing a 19-year-old? He look older than Method Man right now, nigga. Shit don't make no sense. They might as well just let Method Man play his goddamn self, nigga. Like these niggas is all 13 and 12, nigga. And this nigga looks like he's 3 times the age of motherfucking RZA and shit. It just don't make no sense, nigga. Yeah. And you got, let me tell you something. Just act like that nigga ain't in the motherfucking Wu-Tang Clan, because that's what I do, nigga. When I think of the members of the Wu-Tang Clan, nigga, I think of the beginning of motherfucking METHOD, man. Do they say you got in that? The RZA, the Jizza, Inspector Deck, Raekwon the Chef, ODB, and, right?
Yeah.
Did it say you got?
That nigga said he was in jail for most of the first album.
Yeah, they don't say you got it. Get that nigga the fuck out of here.
I say, oh boy, they should have kept you. Them 4 walls should have kept you, nigga. That iron gate should have kept you, nigga. Nigga, what did you add, my nigga? What did you add to this motherfucking collective? And the words "not a goddamn thing" come to mind, nigga. And it is none other than my main man, the Mad Titan himself, M.A. 2 T's, Matt. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? You're talking to the variant Matt this time. Slightly different, man.
Slightly different.
I veered off course this time. Slightly different. I veered off course because I love something, man, and that is Loki. So this is the variant Matt, man. I'm gonna talk about
this is the 10 out of 10 Matt, man. You don't get 10, this. Yes. You don't get this, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't burying the lead with you this time, man. Listen, so today, me and this young man are here to talk about Disney Plus's newest Marvel series, and that is none other than Time Cop Loki.
Yes, sir.
Matt, please wax poetic. Rap to me for a minute. Talk to me about Loki.
If you would ask me in 2011 if the villain for the Avengers movie is going to be a time cop in a TV series, even I would have said that's a bit much. Even I would have said, what are you talking about? That's crazy. That's not going to work. That's dumb. That's insane. That's everything you just said doesn't make sense. This is the best thing I've seen in a while. This is the best thing I've seen in a while. I don't know how this makes sense, but this is the best thing I've seen in a while. I want to go back to my time variation of 2011 me and just be like, you think this is good now? Wait till you see this guy play a time cop. So I don't know how they did it, man, but Tom Hiddleston stands out. The writing was amazing. Like, just the jokes were landing, everything, the set. I want to live in this world, man. They completely sold me, man. They completely sold me.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I never doubted Tom Hiddleston, because there was a show. It was a limited series one time on AMC, and I remember I bought the whole series because I missed it in its initial run. So I bought it on streaming somewhere. I actually own this somewhere, a digital copy. But there was a show called The Night Manager, and it was Tom Hiddleston, Loki, starring opposite Hugh Laurie, aka House, Dr. House. And Tom Hiddleston was the manager of like this swanky Middle Eastern Dubai hotel. And fucking Dr. House was a gangster, a big time gangster or some shit. And it was amazing. But it wasn't like it was amazing because the writing was superb, but it was, or the direction was superb. It was, but Tom Hiddleston can just carry a project. He's that engaging. He's that intriguing. He's that funny. He's that, you know what I'm saying? He's a leading man. And it's, you know what? I'm like, man, let me stand on top of on my milk crate for a minute. I almost feel bad for him that he's caught up in this Marvel shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like 20 years ago, he would have been a big named actor. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or at the very least, a Gary Oldman. Like, I feel like he's that person. You know what I'm saying? He's that caliber an actor, but because now is now, like he has to ride this Loki train into, you know what I mean? Like even, okay, do you want to go back through the annals of time? You know what I'm saying? It only seems fitting that we bring it from the beginning to now, right? Hold on, man, real quick. Let me now look up this man's filmography. I think I might have to go back and watch that damn Night Manager. That was my shit.
You'll have to see it too.
No, listen. I'm telling you. Watch that shit if you ever get a chance, man. It's about, I want to say it's about 8 episodes or something. I think.
Okay, like a miniseries.
Yeah, it was a miniseries, and it came on AMC. It was out the blue, man. It was just a good ass show, man. For real quick, in and out of there. So, boom. 2011, Thor. Matt, how did you feel about Thor, the original, the first Thor?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. The original Thor, it was kind of weird. Wasn't a big fan of the Destroyer. They kind of had to tell this weird fish out of water story. I wasn't really a big fan of that. Some jokes landed, but overall, I was kind of underwhelmed. Apart from Loki.
Yeah, I will say Loki was the big standout of that. For me, Thor held like a very interesting place next to, it was like a book. It was like 1A and 1B. It was Thor and Captain America, right? Because I felt like they started the universe with Iron Man, right? Then they brought in what was the
Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk, yeah. And then Iron Man 2. And then like at that point they were like, you know what? Fuck. We're gonna actually do this.
Yeah.
We're gonna because I feel like before that they didn't really build, because you know at the end of Iron Man he says, I want to talk to you about the Avengers. And then at the end of Incredible Hulk, Tony Stark, for some fucking reason, comes in and talks to Thunderbolt Ross. I want to talk to you about the Avengers. And then fucking Samuel Jackson comes in and Iron Man 2. Well, we can talk about the Avengers again. Ain't nobody trying to talk about that shit. Like for the longest time, I felt like they weren't really serious about this. It was like a little interesting tie-in, Easter egg through line with all these movies, but it wasn't serious. You know what I'm saying? And then I feel like when they finally ramped it into gear and was like, no, we're doing this, they were like, oh shit, we need to, who else we're gonna put in here? Thor? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Who else? Captain America. He has a Captain America. Yeah. Here, let's make movies about him real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I felt like both of those movies seemed rushed in a way.
Yeah.
Captain America is the better of the two, but there's a lot of montage shit in there where they're like, you're like, y'all didn't really have the most story to tell me, did you?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And Thor feels the exact same way. And
Yeah, when they had to tell these stories, they
Yeah.
had to do this. Yeah,
this is the place we need them to be at the beginning of the Avengers film. So I don't care what you do, hit the beats that you got to hit, but they need to be at this point at the end of that movie. And I feel like that's exactly so that they can fit into the beginning of the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like both of those movies share that kind of thing. But I will say, as far as Thor goes, he was the standout. And he was like, I mean, as far as Loki goes in Thor, he was the standout. And it just was great. And you know what I'm saying? I felt like I did kind of feel resentful because I felt like they killed him at the end. And, you know, and that was the first time they brought him back.
yeah,
And you're like, okay, so this doesn't feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, where are the stakes? Okay, whatever. Okay. Then a year later, 2012's Avengers. How did you feel about Loki as the main villain?
You know, I liked Loki. Like, I like the character of Loki in it. I wasn't a fan of the whole turning Avengers on each other. Wasn't really a big fan of that. But I liked him as a character. I thought he served his purpose well, and he was like truly a villain because at the end of the Thor 1, right?
Yeah.
Still a villain, but like, you know, he was more sympathetic. I felt like when he did the whole like, oh, he's gonna kill Odin, he's a bad guy, and twist ending, he kills his own father, and he did that to appease like Odinson. It's like, oh my, or Odin. It's like, oh wow, like, you know, that was crazy. It's like, this guy's got problems, sympathetic in a weird way. But in the Avengers, man, he was just a straight villain. Taking over the world, you guys are peasants, kneel before me, Hitler references, like, you're a straight villain, you know?
Yeah. But I think because of the way I saw him in Thor, I didn't really buy him as a big bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know they were trying to sell the whole, you know, he was still acting at the behest of Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
But I never bought him as a big bad. And, you know what I'm saying? One day we'll go into all the problems I have about the first Avengers film. But yeah, I just was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? And then they were kind of heavy handed with the Hitler references and all that shit. And I was just like, he's kind of, if this was like a Earth-based villain, I would, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, but he's not even from this realm.
Yeah, so why is he like in a tuxedo and like in Germany doing this like weird heist? Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And okay, so then we skip ahead another year. Thor: The Dark World, the sequel Thor film.
The best Thor, favorite one. The best Marvel movie. Malekith, the Dark Elf.
Oh, them dark elves in the fucking ether. Oh.
So Loki saved it.
Yes.
The reshoots of Loki saved the movie, and by saved it, I mean made it the worst Marvel movie, but not a movie that would have sunk the entire franchise. So, yes, he literally saved the movie. He made it watchable. He came in for some reshoots, got in, got out, and he was the best part of it. And I just loved it. I loved the whole Matt Damon stuff. I liked Loki as a character is amazing, and they gave him all the reshoots gave him a lot more depth, man.
Yeah,
like he wasn't a cartoon villain from the Avengers. The whole illusionary scene where you saw him broken after his mother.
Listen, I was just about to mention that. That's probably my favorite scene in that movie.
Okay, you know that's up there. It's tossed me in that scene, and when him and Thor were leaving their realm, right? They go to Niflheim. And he's looking, and they're just like reminiscing, and they're cracking jokes. And Thor's just like, "I wish I could trust you." And Loki just looks at him, and is like, "You could trust my ire." And I was like, "All right, I like that. That was great." Yeah.
Well, see, I'll be honest with you. I saw that movie one time, and I washed my hands of it. So I forgot about the parts you're talking about, but I mean I remember it once you mentioned it. But yeah, that was good too. But he was obviously and without a shadow of a doubt the best part of that movie.
Easily, yeah.
To the point where you're like, Thor, you are trash.
Well, yeah, I mean, literally when he walked away, because this is the second time he faked his death now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so second time. So he dies again. This is like, I'm a good actor dying. Thor thinks he's dead. So, okay. But, it was a big illusion again. And then after that, I'm like, okay, back to the main story. What do we got now? Okay, we got like Skarsgård running around with his pants on the floor. Kate Jennings like shooting 3D projects. It's just like, oh, get me out of here. I could have just got up and walked, and I would not have missed anything. So yeah.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so that was 2013. We skip ahead to 2017. Thor Ragnarok.
This is us. Yeah, so but this is the next time we see Loki then.
Yes.
Okay, so great part again. I mean, but everybody was actually competing at this moment. Thor was eating up more scenery than Loki. They were all. He was in an amazing movie with everybody competing. Everybody was like trying to chew up the scenery, but he still stood out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still stood out.
I think this was post. I want to say this was post. What's the shit called? Ghostbusters, the female Ghostbusters movie, where the only takeaway you have of that movie is that Chris Hemsworth is actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Even though what they gave him in that movie is not the funniest shit, but you could tell he had a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Taika Waititi and the crew leaned into that because Thor was about to be unsellable. Like Thor was about to be unwatchable as a character who couldn't carry his own film. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely had to change the tone of the character. And like you said, everybody is competing. Everybody has something to do. Everybody is chewing up the scenery. But still, Tom Hiddleston took it into that rarefied air and still outperformed everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I would say for Ragnarok, because once again, this is more or less, I would say a half Thor 3 movie, half Incredible Hulk 2 movie.
Yeah.
I would say some of the most amazing scenes, like where he goes back to New York and Doctor Strange was like just toying with him and they're going to have him back and forth. All that stuff's amazing, and it does support your theory that he's not really a main villain.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like all that stuff was enjoyable. Like the him and Thor like tag teaming, just him and Thor and even Odin before he left was amazing, and them finding their sister, all that stuff was great.
Yes.
And so I mean, I'm just thinking about the characters. There's so many moving pieces, and his stuff stands out. The Executioner was in that movie. Like we got Valkyrie and like all of man, that was a loaded movie, and we got like even Jeff Goldblum, who by himself would probably like steal the show, but no, Loki was right there. Says a lot.
Yes, it does. And then we have, I'm going to name them as one thing, but they're two very different settings that he appeared in, almost cameos. We have Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So it's kind of almost the back to the front, because in the first scene almost of Infinity War, he's killed by Thanos. And then at the end of Endgame, him in the timeline in the events of post events of Avengers 1, he's sent on another mission. I mean, he's sent on another adventure.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, when he died, I was like, wow, damn, they starting off with that shit. All right. But I didn't, you know what I'm saying? But like he's died before. I really did think he was gone for good. But yeah, once at the end, you know, they have the little time heist thing and he grabs the Tesseract, and that leads us to the events of Loki, the television show. How you felt?
My nigga, First of all, my expectations that I was very on the fence. All right, you know what I mean? Like Loki is cool. The actor who plays Loki is cool. Tom Hiddleston, whatever, he's cool. But I was just like, do I want more Loki in my life? And do these niggas, this all they got? Is all they got fucking Loki? You know what I'm saying? And if so, is that what I want to see? Their last desperate attempt to make me interested in their films and shit. And I guess it was more so of a like hedging, a sadness hedge. You know what I'm saying? Like they've wasted my time, and I was just going in with low expectations. Nigga, that shit surpassed my expectations like a motherfucker. Even the little slow parts that I knew was going to be slow and shit were interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought when I saw that, what's my man's name with the fucked up nose? Owen. What's his name? Owen Wilson. I thought he was going to be like overdone, over the top comedy. I thought it was going to be like Ant-Man status comedy, and I just thought I wasn't going to like it, man. That's what I really thought. And God damn it, they blew me out the water, my nigga. Nothing was over the top. Everything was well done. They got to the point quick. Owen Wilson is acting. You know what I'm saying? He's Owen Wilson, but not like Owen Wilson playing Owen Wilson. You know what I'm saying? And so their conversations weren't annoying. Their conversations weren't forced like some of Falcon and Winter Soldier's conversations. Their actual like beef and their arguments came off natural. You know what I'm saying? The writing is just good. You know what I'm saying? And the premise, I thought it was going to be hackneyed and trash. But the premise was dope. The way they did it was dope. You know what I'm saying? So it just, everything was good. The only thing I will say, the only thing I really didn't like was I would say like the first 10 minutes. Like the whole Loki goes out of time and they go to the, I don't really like this. We do science, but it looks like the 1950s. We got some unimaginable shit that your technology can't even fathom. But it looks like the 1950s. I'm kind of tired of that. And that whole little, this a bureaucracy, and it's like your average fucking auto department. What's it called? Fucking DMV. Yeah. That shit was a little annoying. But overall, you know what I'm saying? That shit was great. And I'm kind of speaking because I already saw the second episode. I know you haven't seen it yet.
Right.
But it really, they really did a good job, man. And it different in a way that they did it. Like WandaVision was of course boring and trash, but the first episode was extra super boring and very slow. And it's why they had to release 2 episodes, because they watched that shit and they knew if they put out 1 episode, nobody was going to come back the second week. So they put out 2 episodes because they needed to get to the point quicker. And fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier, that shit felt like a movie, like an action movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the action kind of pulled you away from the story, because every time the story was doing something stupid, they would start fighting and the hands would be so good. This is way more intriguing. It's more like a detective kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They doing some shit with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm intrigued. And I didn't read them damn Loki comics, so I don't even know what the fuck is going on. You understand what I'm saying to you? So, yeah, they got my attention, my nigga. I just hope they don't drop the ball.
Okay. Matt, I mean, it almost goes without saying. What did you think of Loki, the television show?
Man, I mean, honestly, it was just top to bottom great. Seeing him back in the role it was great. I loved every second of it, man. Like this is going to be a very promising like show. I know I've said that for a couple other shows, but this feels like completely different. So I'm looking forward to the rest of this season.
Yeah, man. It just seems like a great show. It seems, I feel like Tom Hiddleston, every time he steps into this character, he brings a new element into it, which speaks to his talent. But yeah, it just seems like I'm along for the ride. The only, I mean, do we, since there's not many qualms, do you want me to go ahead and speak on my only issue with this show?
Then I'll give you mine. But yeah, I want to hear it.
Listen, man, Tom Hiddleston is a great actor. people know he's a great actor. The people at Marvel know he's a great actor. Kevin Feige knows he's a great actor. The only thing I do not like, you know what I'm saying, when you're fooling with time, there's one trope, and I don't even know if it's a commonly used trope, but it just seems retread. It seems like retread to me, and that is the self-fulfilling chicken of the egg prophecy of dun dun dun, it's him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And that was the only thing that let the air out of my balloon, man. Like, that was the only thing that I was kind of like, oh. I felt like it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of we gotta take you to catch this person who knows everything about the time cops and is picking us off one by one. And that person is you, so we're gonna teach you everything
Yes.
you know about the time. Yeah.
That's another one. Yeah, I didn't particularly appreciate that it was Loki. Like, come on, man. How cliche can we get, man?
And that was my only thing, man. So other than that, I loved it. But yeah, that was my thing. Like,
who would you like it to have been instead of?
I mean, I don't even like at this point. I'm living on borrowed time, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just here to get to the end of the Infinity Saga, and now that we're past that, oh man, I'm cool with whatever.
You don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No expectations. Do what you will, Marvel.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm already dead, buddy.
I've lived a good life, but I lived a long life.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm still here. I'm still along for the ride. But it was like, we got to catch this guy. He's blah blah blah. He's this. He's that. He's that. All right. Well, why would you think I'd be any good at catching him? 'Cause he's you.
Yeah, I mean, very telegraphed, like that whole.
Yeah, so y'all are gonna teach him everything about time coppery and all that, so that he can catch him from the obvious future, who knows everything about time coppery and is using it against him.
Yes, exactly.
I said,
Yeah, I wasn't too fond of that. It is kind of disappointing knowing that the main antagonist is going to be Loki from a different variation, but hopefully they'll play it off. Hopefully they'll get me involved. So yeah.
Let me ask you this question first, right? And then we're going to get into the meat of Loki. All right, across the street, they have a time cop show also. And I'm talking about across the street at DC. They have the Legends of Tomorrow. What's your experience with with DC's version of the Time Cops?
I'm just gonna say this really quick so people understand exactly what I'm talking about, where I'm coming from. Booster Goldman talks like a old-time radio superhero because people are stupid. He puts on a superhero accent. We are in 2021, and he talks like an old-timey radio superhero. No need to fear. And you know why he does it? Because DC doesn't care. That's all I have to say. They couldn't care less. He just gets on. It's like, I do superhero accents. Like this? Like, why are you talking like that? Because they did in the old timing. We're in 2021. That's all I have to say.
Booster Gold's shortcomings aside, what is your thought on the premise and execution of the Rip Hunter-led Time Cops?
No, I'm just not a fan. I'm not really a big fan of that whole DC stuff. They're not mentioned in the timeline because these guys are innocent. I was never a big fan of that. I can't believe it's still going on, honestly.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was an avid watcher for 2 seasons, and then it kind of. Let me tell a story. Let me tell you a secret, man, and I'm probably gonna cut this out.
All right, okay.
Because somebody thought I was. I looked at a comment on our last episode, and somebody thought I was about to come out. I was about to come out as a homosexual. And I don't want to add more fuel to that fire. But anyways,
wait. What?
There's a point. They time stamped it and everything. Oh man, I thought HBK was about to come out of the closet. And I clicked the timestamp, and it was like, I got something to tell you guys.
Sorry.
I gotta tell you guys, and it was literally that long of a pause. And I was like, oh my Jesus. Oh my goodness. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Long ago, Matt. Long ago. I used to watch soap operas, man.
Okay. Can I assume it was something where like your mom wouldn't let you change the channel on TV or something?
Matt, I was in high school.
Is it like Telemundo because the tits?
You know what? Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. One day I sat down for a good 2 hours and thought I was gonna see some titties, some bare naked titties on Telemundo.
Oh, yeah. I mean, bro. At this point, I'm pretty sure that that's like not even like a flinchable offense.
But they teased it so much.
Oh my God, yeah.
And there was no payoff, not one areola, not one nipple. But they had low cut tops and they had fucking lingerie on and they had everything.
Straps that were just like falling off.
Yes, titties pouring out, man. I digress. Anyways, no, I used to watch General Hospital. Tell you a story, man. My older cousin, the guy I patterned my whole style after. I was at his house one day because I went up to Detroit to stay with him, and it was 2:50, and we had two TVs next to each other playing SOCOM on PlayStation 2, but we were online. But it didn't have there was no lobby and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? There was no online interface. You just hooked it up to the internet.
Yeah, LAN.
Yeah. And so we were playing SOCOM, and it was like 2:00. We were having the greatest time. We had pizzas. We had ordered pizzas and shit. And that's just what my time in my cousin's house was like. All the cousins would come over. We would all play video games. We'd talk shit. And we're playing, and 2:50 comes. We win the match, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, man. We about to go on a winning spree. And he looks at the clock, and it was 2:55, and he said, oh shit. And he runs into the kitchen, fixes him a plate, makes a big ass glass of whatever he was drinking, plops that in front of his TV and changes it to ABC. And I said, what the fuck is going on? He said, shut the fuck up. I'm like, what's going on? He said, y'all can keep playing the game, man, but y'all got to be quiet. And then all I know is they had them ambulance lights flashing, and that said, dun 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 dun. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. So I said, nigga, are you gay? The fuck are you watching? And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This man, there was a guy, we were watching it, and there was a guy handcuffed to stairs, to a stair rail in a stairwell. And this guy comes by, blue eyes, blonde hair. He comes by, he running with a gun, and he looks at the guy handcuffed, and he puts his gun away, and he knocks the shit out the guy handcuffed to the banister. And I said, what the fuck is this? And then, you know what I'm saying, whoop, they changed settings, and it's this lady that lives in the middle of the woods. And I'm like, what the fuck are we watching? And so then this other lady, and it's this lady and this guy in this cabin, and she's just like, I've loved you forever, and you're my husband, and blah blah blah, this, that, and the third. And this other lady comes, knocks on the door. She tells her husband to hide in the other room, and the lady comes in and says, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you. We're looking for my fiance, Prince Nicholas Cassadine." And she said, "Oh yeah, no, we haven't seen anybody in these parts for a mighty long time. Blah blah blah. This, that, and the third." She shows a picture of him, and it's the guy hiding in the other room. She said, "Yeah, his ship crashed and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "What the fuck? What is this?"
Oh man.
And so there was mobsters, there was an actual royal family, there was gangsters, there was fucking doctors, there was all types of shit. And before I knew it, I watched that fucking. When you met me, I was still watching that shit.
What?
Yes, I watched it till I graduated college.
No. Really?
Yes,
Damn.
man. The shit was so fucking good, man. Sonny
Oh.
Corinthos, man, is the head of the fucking mob. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. And he's fucking half brothers with the fucking district attorney, Rick Lansing. You know what I'm saying? His fucking ace henchman, Jason Morgan, is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, man. Come on, man. Shit was great. You got a corporate raider, Jasper Jacks. Man, General Hospital, man. Go watch it. Great shit.
Okay.
Don't ever watch it. Don't ever do that. My point is, this is my point. I say all that to say, the thing about Legends of Tomorrow is at some point you realize that they're going to keep getting into the same shit. Like they're never going to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in every show that once I realize that there's no win, it's a no-win situation, I can't fuck with your show no more. Like either they have to lose bad, you know what I'm saying? Either you lose or you win. You don't reset the pieces on the chessboard and let's play again. Like no. I'm not gonna keep doing that with y'all. And that's how I feel about Legends of Tomorrow. Like we stopped him. We stopped Vandal Savage. Oh, the Vandal Savage just popped up. Wait, no. Oh, the Time Lords are unhappy, so they're gonna fucking send out somebody to kill us and to create a new problem for us every week.
Yeah.
No. We're telling one story, one linear story. Once you get off that and try to just reset the pieces and do the exact same thing you just did, I'm no longer interested. And that's what happened with Legends of Tomorrow. With this, I know it's gonna be a more, compacted story. So, having said that, those few words about Legends of Tomorrow and nothing else, let's go ahead and break down. Go ahead and crack Loki for me, man, top to bottom. Tell me about this world that was built.
It's a TVA, right?
TVA, yes.
Man, yeah. It's actually it's in the main timeline, right? Is that what they kind of told us?
What you
It's
mean?
it's not like outside of time. It's in the main timeline, right?
Well, they operate. Well, there is only right now. There is what they kind of alluded to is right now there is only one timeline, and the reason that the time variance association or whatever exists is so that variants, things that get off the main timeline, don't cause a multiverse.
Yeah.
Don't split the time streams and cause a multiverse. Which, come to think of it, is exactly what Loki is doing, which falls into place with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, so we know how this has
We
to
know
end.
how it ends. We know there's only one way this thing can end, man.
Yeah, in the Multiverse of Madness, which is kind of weird too because I mean I know this is like a comic book and I'm thinking too hard, but like how do you have infinity universes in one universe? That's not how infinity works.
Yeah, I mean, listen, God love him for trying, man. God bless him. God bless him for trying. But at the end of the day, it's too cute their explanation is too cute. It's like there are a whole bunch of timelines, and they were warring timelines. Like, that's not how time works. But okay, you know what? This is your show. You do it with it as you please. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, there were infinite timelines and the warring timelines, and the timeline stopped and blah blah blah. And the Time Lord, well, not Time Lords. What are they in Marvel?
Pretty much Time Lords, but I forgot what they call them, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and so they put the one timeline and they created the TVA to police the timeline. So yeah, so there's not a multiverse event, and you're like, yeah, it's coming though.
Yeah.
I hear you, it's coming though. But yeah, so that's what it was. That's basically what it was, man. It's damn, I wish I knew what they were called. But yeah, the Time Lords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, just plop Loki right in there, which is pretty cool. Like the whole scene where Loki was doing his stick against like the TVA, like police officers, was great. You know, everything like was pretty good. All the entire courts, like all that stuff was hilarious. Then decided to make the TVA with this giant like almost 80th bureaucrat like government office. I thought it was brilliant, man. It just completely fits.
Yeah, man, I love it as the 1970s setting office. You know what I'm saying? The 1970s DMV, fucking yeah. I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I love the setup. I love all that. Yeah. It's great, man. It's great. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about the Infinity Stones being bullshit outside of time.
Okay. So here's the thing, right? I didn't mind that, but you know, cause it's a quick way for them to demonstrate like that all this stuff doesn't matter to them because more or less, I'm assuming, like, yeah, they're dealing with cosmic on an insane degree.
Yeah,
but there is one Infinity Stone where this probably would matter to them, and that's the Time Gem.
Yes.
Like, so to me, when I did that, I was like, the Power Stone probably they couldn't care about. They're cosmic at this point.
Yes.
The Time one, they probably would exactly directly one-to-one deal with it because that's their whole thing.
But what is the main one he picked up and held out of the drawer? The Green Time Gem.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it kind of punches a hole in their shit, but still, I fuck with it.
Yeah, same. The only gripe I had for the entire thing was I think at the end they kind of rushed him being good too fast. Where, you know, after everything like we saw, we know his character, and this is like the original Avengers variant. This isn't like a variant where he was kind of like a Ragnarok variant. So this is the original one, and he's just looking at him. He's like, I don't like hurting people. I'm like, yeah, no, you do, you know, like you 100% do. But I mean, it wasn't the worst thing. Like I just felt like they rushed it a little too quick. But apart from that, like I said, like there's rock solid, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay. Now let me ask you about the. I don't know if this is going to be a mainstay of the series, but let me talk to you about the setting of the cast of characters in the TVA. Does any stand out to you? And let me ask you a better question: the receptionist guy, is he going to be your agent?
Coulson.
No, Lee. Even worse, Lee. Wu, Agent Wu is the receptionist going to be your Agent Wu?
I don't think so. I think it's funny. Like, what's a fish? Like he's weird enough to where I like it. I will say it's kind of the only thing that had me thrown off is everybody's human.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, I hope they explain that because there was one episode of Star Trek that was weird for me because it was time cops in it, and everybody was human in it, and they explained, yeah, because we won a time war, so we get to decide like who's the dominant species. I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of ruined it for me. But I am curious as to why everybody's human in this one.
I kind of pawned it off as that's the visual representation of what you understand.
Okay.
That's kind of how I looked at it. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? Perhaps not. I did forget. We did forget one Time Cop television show, which is the Umbrella Academy. I'll leave that where it is.
Yep. I wonder how Elliot Page is going to revise his role.
Let me ask you a question that's going to get us canceled off of
Okay.
YouTube. How do you feel about the Infinity Stones being treated so nebulous?
Perfect. You want niggas to move on from that shit. Like, it's a new thing. And we already know, well, I don't know if they stated this in the movies, but we already know the Infinity Stones only work inside the universe that they were made for. Mm-hmm. So once they get out of that, they don't work anymore. So it makes sense that they're just trinkets and they don't work. But it also goes to show how powerful the time niggas are. You know what I'm saying? And the main problem, what's this problem we always say with superheroes? Like, what are the power levels? So this one firmly says, all right, you know what Thanos was capable of. You saw all these movies. You know what these Infinity Stones do. Now we here at the time nexus. This shit is more powerful than all that. Tom Hiddleston's magic, Loki's magic and all that shit wasn't shit compared to our Time Cop niggas. You know what I'm saying? The shit we got is some shit y'all ain't never seen before. And even still, they were using things that were in other movies. I peeked how the fucking little thing that turns you into disintegration. That's what the collector had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the collector. Was it the collector? Who's that? Is that the collector?
Yeah.
Who was the nigga in Thor and Hope movie?
Benicio del Toro. Yeah, collector.
Yeah. He used, you know what I'm saying? It's dope, man. All around dope.
It's like I said, man, they didn't give me much to feed on, but overall, I know it'll be a good show if done right. And I like that right now the implications are, this movie, WandaVision, and I guess this subsequently feed into not only Doctor Strange but also Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
So I'm confident. I'm very confident in Marvel right now.
Speaking of WandaVision, how do you feel about that? Like, actual Mephisto, complete ruse? Because when that little kid pointed to the literal devil, I was like, oh, okay. And it all made sense. I was like, oh, okay, that's why the director from WandaVision is like, I've never heard of this guy, because he knows that he has to be on the quiet because that's the next big bat. Nope, not him again. It's kind of weird. It's getting weird now.
Yeah, man. I think at this point they know what we're expecting. And maybe they didn't think that out the gate, but now that they know what button to push, I think that's what this is. Which is, there's only so many times you can go to that well before people tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So you think so this is gonna be the new Stinger or the new Stan Lee, or an Ant-Man 3 is gonna be describe him. It was pointy, red tail,
red skin, pointy horns.
He was going, Mahaha, there he is, Kang the Conqueror. It's okay. Who also has to do with time.
My goodness.
Kang is the ultimate variant. I wonder what they're going to do with him, apart from making him a clown that Ant-Man clowns on.
Is he? Oh, he is the villain in Ant-Man.
Yes, he is.
Why did I think it was some other movie?
Yeah, Kang is the villain in Ant-Man, and Kang is the conqueror, and he is the Time Lord, literally. It's going to be interesting what they do with him.
It is the Quantumania. All right. So I guess it feeds into three show. Maybe it's the new... Okay, let me ask you this, man. Well, shit. Man, I think we just worked ourselves into a shoot, man, or shot ourselves into a work. You got, okay, bear with me right now, right? Everything MCU related is connected, right? Is canon. That's what they said, right? Everything Marvel related is canon.
I mean, to a certain degree, Netflix stuff don't count. And
Well, no, Netflix stuff no longer counts. That's why it's been discontinued.
Okay, yeah, and I don't think Agents of Shield count at this point. At this point,
is Agents of Shield still on?
I don't know.
I don't either. Yeah, but I think it is. I mean, because obviously, your favorite time when it was directly that you could not watch Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, without being up to date on the Agents of Shield. You would be lost. You would be dumbfounded.
Nope. So Mike Coulson picks up a phone and says, "Call in the Avengers." I didn't realize that they had actually called in the Avengers, man. I would have walked out and said, "I'm sorry, sir. I thought this movie started at 4:00. I clearly missed an hour." So, yep. Glad I saw that.
Oh, goodness. So, I think they're still in the MCU tangentially. I think they just do things that don't ripple, don't make waves enough to be considered, MCU. But I think at the end of the day, all the shit was, even the Netflix shit was MCU tangential because they talked about New York, all that shit. You know what I mean?
Hulk, Jessica Jones had an episode with like the Hulk, kind of like talking about that stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But so let's look at it, man. You got WandaVision, right? Time altering reality, whatever. All right. Who's already going to be in Spider-Man and Doctor Strange 2, right? Then you got Loki, time variance authority. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing with time and all that shit. Then you got Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, right? You got Spider-Man Never Coming Home Again, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah,
right?
No Way Home or something.
No Way Home. You got Ant-Man Quantumania. But you got also Marvel What If.
Ooh.
Although I hate the premise, although it's animated, it is the MCU. It does deal with other versions and variations of your favorite characters. Some could make the point that it is directly, if not the most multiverse related future upcoming thing that they got going on.
Yeah.
This might be their new shit, man. This might be phase 4, man, or phase whatever. That might be the whole thing it surrounds. It's time and the way it relates to all these people. I'm with it, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely the theme of this new phase for sure.
Yeah. So it gets my stamp of approval. I'm okay with it.
And then I guess to really tie it all in, you got the Eternals, and they're a big waste of time. So, like, that kind of ties in with the theme as well.
It is indeed. It's a waste of fucking time. They should be investigated by the Time Authority and zapped out of existence, like the rich kid who. Well, I guess you know what they did. They did say messing with the timeline could be as big as fucking this massive Machiavellian plot, or as small as running late for work.
Yeah.
Which I'll be damned. I'm late for work all the goddamn time. I'll be damned. Matt, I'll be damned if they come arrest me.
Yeah. I thought Loki's speech to the court was hilarious too. It was like, you guys are like talking about me and time. The Avengers are literally messing around with time. Go get them. Like, they're supposed to. Like, by whose authority? Like, you're like, what are you talking about?
Listen. When you talk about great points made,
yes,
I said, hello. He said that shit.
Gotcha, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that was planned. No, it wasn't. It was poorly executed. And then if you want to say they put everything back in place, fucking Steve Rogers went back and stayed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, that was a fucking insightful point. And yeah, it you know, they did the thing of address. They had to address that. Like, how is this one guy going back in time going to cause y'all to come through and do something about it when whatever? But what they're saying is that was supposed to happen. So, and also if you think about it, the Avengers fix the time stream when they're finished. So, in essence, what they're saying is we knew that was going to happen, and we knew what they were going to do about it. So it was always supposed to happen. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of see what their logic why we did. Like, it was good enough for me. That's what I'm saying. Like, even if you're saying it's kind of shaky, you know what I mean? It was good enough explanation for me. It made sense. Like, they did fix the timeline, one, and then two, they're saying that was supposed to happen. So, because if you think about it, Thanos did a universe changing event, which wasn't necessarily time orchestrated, but it was something outside the ordinary. And all they did was bring those people back to life in the same universe, on the same timeline. How they explained it, it doesn't really make sense if you really think about it. But then again, time travel doesn't at all anyway. So there you go. I was hoping y'all saw the end of the second episode because I had a lot of questions. I need answers. You heard?
Go ahead.
Nah, I ain't gonna ruin it for you.
It's not like it's the season finale, my nigga. Go ahead.
Okay, fine. I just wanted to do. I said I had a lot of questions, but honestly, I went on YouTube and risked getting spoiled everything to find out the answers. But really, I just didn't understand how I'm not gonna tell you who, but the plan was obviously the plan. She was the shit was the other Loki was collecting the fucking bombs or whatever, right? So obviously the person was going to set the bombs off and shit. And so Loki sends the bombs and they're blowing up the main timeline. I didn't quite understand that. And then a whole bunch of these, the bombs are supposed to erase the whole timeline, right, Matt? So how is sending them to the main timeline? Doesn't that just erase everything? I didn't get it. I didn't understand.
He was, the person was fracturing the timeline. I don't know where exactly those bombs were going, but every bomb was setting up a different universe.
So right, but shouldn't it just erase? How is it starting a new timeline? That's what I didn't get.
Timeline, but just erasing something. If you set a bomb and it erased Bill Clinton, I don't know. I don't know why I said Bill Clinton, but his car one day, right? It's I don't know where that came in my head, dude. If you erase his car or something, then that entire day is completely different than how it's supposed to be. So that would change a new universe.
You must have recently watched some 90s comedy.
That's all they talked about. Yeah, where that came from.
That's all they talked about is Bill Clinton. That was fodder for years. But okay, but it seems to me, right? Okay. If you go to another time, if you go back in time and you do something different or you cause something different to happen, then it sets off a series of events that cause a whole new time stream or whatever like that. So they show up with their bomb and they destroy the time stream. Therefore, everything goes back to how it was, right? So if she sends a bomb that destroys the time stream, to the main time stream.
What they're destroying is pretty much them though in the time stream. He's destroying something that's not them, something that should belong there. Then, you saying she, but then it's different. You know what I mean?
The only way that it made sense to me is I was there's multiple universes inside this one time string that's following along this path that these timekeepers have set, right? So she's destroying universes, and that's causing the rift in time. But I don't even know. But I got confused, and they started using the jargon too much instead of like explaining it. Like, you know, at first they were explaining it because Loki never heard it before, but then like by the time they ramped up in the second episode, they were just in and out, entering in and out all this like made up jargon and shit. And I lost the plot. I didn't know what the fuck was going on no more. But yeah, but other than that, man, like just other than trying to understand the logic behind it or the science behind it, this shit is good, man. Like,
yeah. And then a quick side note too. I will say this: I must have missed this in Thor 2, but I didn't make the connection that when Loki was like telling the dark elves, greatest villains ever, to go upstairs to the left or whatever, he was setting him after Thor, and he unintentionally killed his mother. I didn't mean that.
I think I knew that, man. Like maybe that was just like Inception or something when I was.
But he didn't know that. That Loki didn't know that he directly one-to-one killed
Right,
him.
but he didn't know he indirectly led them to his mother either, though.
Yeah.
So I think that's the point of the scene was that, yeah, which I didn't mind. Listen, the MCU has been around so long that I don't mind people going back and looking at the hits.
Yep.
And I was very impressed by that scene.
Yeah.
Right? Because once again, he's playing villain Loki. Which is adds kind of an extra layer of genius to it. Is, you know, if you went back and got the Loki right before Infinity War, like that's a changed man. This Loki that they got is hell bent on global domination.
Yep.
And now, so he, you know, and he breaks down and comes to the, you know, oh man, I'm a failure and all this kind of stuff, and I do all this and I hurt people just because I'm incomplete as a person and all that shit. But at the end of the day, this man is in his mind a couple hours removed from almost ruling Earth. Almost ruling Earth and being snatched away from him by the Avengers.
Yeah.
So that's
as far as he's concerned, are literally like playing around with the timeline just to do that. So yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, I dig it, man. I dig it. I'm like, you know, I'm down like a clown for it, man.
Yeah.
maybe one of the questions was, would I hit the time stream boss lady? Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's what you wanted to know.
Yeah, of course, man. That's kind of
all the variants, man.
Damn the variants, man. Damn all that.
Okay, this is my question, man. This is a question for Akir and Matt. All right. In my lifetime, there's been a lot of movies having to do with alternate timelines and whatnot and the like. You know what? When I think about that, I kind of exclude Time Cop because that was more time travel than time stream, but timelines, I should say. Here's a question, and let me know if I'm wrong, man. Let me know if I'm tripping, man. Was Jet Li's the one criminally better than it was supposed to be?
Yes, easy.
That movie was incredible. You know what's crazy? I only saw it once. I never saw it again. Like, I can't find it anywhere. Like, I've never seen it again. That shit was incredible, nigga.
All this time, I thought I was tripping, man. Like, that movie was so fucking good, man. And it was a Jet Li starring movie, man. I'm at a loss, man. When I think of time streams and I say, wow, who played it right? Who played it straight?
Oh, yeah.
Who, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know.
It doesn't get talked about enough, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Even the way the nigga left, man. I am you law. I am nobody's bitch. You all are my bitch. And then them niggas was just fighting on
incredible
that pyramid, nigga. It went out great, nigga. You know what I'm saying? All that shit, my nigga. Just great times. Good time to be had, my nigga. That's the bar right there, my nigga. For timelines, my nigga. Oh shit, I gotta record.
And that nigga was standing on a rock and
Fading everybody, nigga. Fading everybody, every motherfucking body.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was like thousands upon thousands of people. And he was just like, nigga, bring that shit on. I was like, niggas was just walking, minding their business, and they started turning around. Like, what? A new niggas here? We gotta fuck somebody up?
Nigga, on the first day you show up in the time prison, nigga, and the nigga just said one thing to you, hey, bitch. Nah, nigga, hold on, nigga. Everybody, even you in the back, nigga, stand at attention, nigga. Y'all the bitches, nigga. I run this shit.
Miles away. Niggas was miles away, nigga. He was like, all y'all over there, too, nigga. Y'all locked in here with me.
Shit was fucking amazing, man. Damn. So yeah, I'm really interested to know what's gonna happen.
We should hopefully see.
Pie crack, right? Real guys talking that real shit.
New episodes weekly. Rate, comment, and subscribe.